Hey guys, and welcome to my new movie review for the new 2021 film, A Space Jam, A New Legacy. Guys, before I get into this, I just want to give you a warm welcome. If you are new to my YouTube channel, if you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe, click the bell for notifications, and leave a thumbs up on this review. Thank you so much for that, guys. I really appreciate it. I genuinely appreciate your time. It's so good for you to be here. Thank you so much for clicking on this link. Guys, before I get started, I'm going to give you the intro, the director, the cast, and all the other good stuff that comes along with it, and the synopsis, guys. And then I will give you my full views and thoughts on Space Jam, A New Legacy. Let's roll that intro. Director of Space Jam, A New Legacy is Malcolm D. Lee. LeBron James as himself, LeBron James. Don Cheadle as Al-G Rhythm. Also have Cedric Joe as Don James. With a duration of 2 hours long. Animation Adventure 2021. PG. So straight off the bat, guys, anyone who has been following my channel for any period of time at all, and those of you who are new to my YouTube channel, guys, I actually don't do spoilers. That's right, no spoilers in my movie reviews at all, because in my personal opinion, guys, spoilers just aren't fair. And if you want to get spoiled by a movie, go and watch a spoiler review, because I just don't like to give spoilers away. However, guys, this movie review is going to be packed with all the information that I can possibly give you for this movie and my personal thoughts on how I felt that Space Jam, A New Legacy performed to the audience. And one thing that I was really amazed at is the cinema that I was in was really heavily filled with a lot of people, which is a really good sign for a movie like this, and especially at this caliber of actors. So here we go, guys. So I want to talk about something really quickly that I just want to nitpick at something really quickly, and then I'll get that over and done with, and then I'll talk about the good stuff of this movie. And the nitpick that I have with this movie is one little thing. LeBron James is sitting in a room with his son, and I just really felt that the acting was pushed. Like, it just didn't feel fluent in that scene. However, there's a scene where they're practicing on a basketball court, and it's actually prior to this scene that I'm talking about. And it's really funny because they're actually using a machine that when they say no spoilers, guys, but when they say a certain word, something comes to them. And they just have to say this certain word, and then something comes to them. And every time in this scene that they say this certain word, this machine triggers, and it's really funny. And it happens like 3 times, I think, and LeBron is the one that triggers it the first time, and then the two brothers say it, and then they trigger it. But it's really funny because the way that the brothers do it is actually like, it's not as intentional as when LeBron James says it, and it's really funny. I had a good laugh at that scene, and so did the rest of the audience. That was really well executed scene, and it's for a scene to start the movie off, it was really well done like that. Another really quick thing that I just have to say, I just have to go blah at in this movie, guys, is who the receptionist was. Now, when you see it, you might like her as an actor. I think she's very annoying, and I'm just not a fan. I'm not going to call her out. I'm not going to say who it is. But when you see it, I'm not a fan of her as an actor. In fact, I was quite surprised that she was even in this, considering her comical background is all about a certain thing. It's always the same thing every single time. And I just wasn't a fan of her in this movie at all. I'm not a fan of her as an actor at all. But when she came in, I was like, oh, really? Her? And she's kind of the receptionist. Well, it felt like she was the receptionist. Oh, and by the way, when you see her in that first scene as the receptionist, that background poster is actually the background poster for the movie Aquaman. Fun fact. So when you see it, you'll see that movie reference in that in the movie. And trust me, guys, And I'll talk more about the references of, wow, the jam-packedness of the references to do with other movies in this movie. Wow, that's a topic that we're talking about. Whoa. Anyway, and speaking of references, guys, one of the things in this movie that I kind of found really interesting and bizarre is Don Cheadle's character, Algie Rhythm. He actually dresses like Steve Jobs in a scene in this movie when he's talking to Dom. And it's really bizarre because I don't actually understand why they're referring to Steve Jobs. Like, he's completely dressed in Steve Jobs attire, glasses and everything. And I just didn't really understand why they did that reference, how they did that reference. Not bad. It just was like, it was really, really interesting that they had it. Like, it was really bizarre. Anyway, the chemistry with the actors whenever they're communicating with each other on set and they have on-set chemistry was really, really brilliant. And speaking of really, really brilliant, guys, I want to ask this question because this is the question that I like to ask my audience. Do you think, and in my personal opinion it does, but do you think that Space Jam: A New Legacy has in its core element the thing in its DNA that requires film to be film, for us as audience members to want to go back days, months, years, even centuries, like the first Space Jam movie, and rewatch it? And that's what I like to call, in my humble personal opinion, guys, that what I like to call, guys, rewatchability. Do you think that Space Jam: A New Legacy has rewatchability? Leave your comments in the comment section below. I'd really appreciate your feedback on what you think that this movie deserves and what you feel that if you would go back and rewatch it after, not seeing it for quite a while, because it is incredible. Speaking of incredible, guys, one of the things that I found absolutely outstandingly brilliant, the comic animation style of the characters in this movie was incredible. But what elevated it to a degree where I really, really, if they're going to do another one, which it wouldn't surprise me, I really, really now badly want to see a complete film of live action of this movie. It would be absolutely outstandingly incredible. The reason why I say that is because of the special effects that they used to make the animated characters, to bring them to life. Wow. I mean, wow. It was so good. And I mean, it was so good. They looked real. And I mean, they looked really real. Whatever computer technology animated thing that they have to bring these creatures to life is truly exponential. I kid you not, guys, in any way, shape, or form. I was mind blown at what I was watching and so thoroughly impressed with the outcome of the effects of how real they looked. It was so good. So if you've seen the first movie, Space Jam, you'll know that in the first movie, Michael Jordan is actually the lead actor in that movie. Now, this is really, really funny. So I can't remember if it's Bugs Bunny or Daffy Duck. I can't remember which one it is. I can't remember. But they say that they found Michael Jordan, right? And it's obviously a nod to the first movie. Who actually comes on set isn't Michael Jordan, but I'm not going to give it away. It's actually really funny, and it's like awkward chemistry, but it actually is really funnily executed and really, really clever. Speaking of really clever, guys, I'm going to now talk about the movie references. Now, as you know, Warner Brothers is one of a juggernaut movie monster. I mean, they produce so many just outstanding, incredible movies, and I mean, come on. I'm not even going to try. I'm not even going to try to go to delve in to the reality of how massive Warner Brothers owns the slate for so many movie references. They don't hold back. One character that I was unbelievably surprised, and throughout this movie, I was looking for him everywhere. And what I might do is when this comes on Blu-ray, I might actually watch this movie and watch every scene in shot motion to see if I can find him, because I couldn't find him at all. The only time you actually see him is in the animated element of him. Unfortunately, you don't see him in real life. And who I'm actually talking about is Superman. One of the things the reason why I thought I was going to see him is because there is a character in the background amongst all the thousands of characters hidden in the background, and one of them is flying, and I don't actually know who that was. But that's when I thought, oh, he's got to be in the background flying somewhere. But I personally didn't pick him up. But in saying that, he could have been there. I just couldn't find him. Guys, the movie references and the movie soundtracks that they play in this movie as they go through different parts of the movie to try and find each animated character. Wow, wow, wow. I mean, seriously. And if you don't want to be spoiled by this movie, guys, then don't go and watch all the new trailer teaser, they've got some teaser stuff out, because there is a lot of spoilers in there. And I saw one as I was actually uploading another movie review that I've already dropped on my channel. I saw it come up and I was a little bit annoyed about it, because I would have been like, oh wow, they really put that in there. But I saw it already, so I knew it was coming. But in saying that, it was pretty cool. But there was no audible dialogue from that character in the movie. In fact, the only audible dialogue from the characters is the characters of the main characters in the movie. The background characters have no audible dialogue, but it's still, you just hear them in the background, cheering, and it's really clever like that. So in summary, before I get to my trivia, guys, this is an absolutely family fun-filled movie. Definitely 100%. Take your kids, your families to see this movie, because they are going to have the best time ever. Space Jam: A New Legacy is definitely for the family. You guys are going to have such an incredible time watching this movie. I guarantee I thoroughly, highly recommend that you go and see Space Jam: A New Legacy, because it is incredible. And for anyone who has been following my channel for any period of time, and those who are new to my channel, I actually like to finish my movie reviews with a bit of trivia, just a bit of icing on the cake for you guys to know a little bit about this movie and the background and stuff like that happens behind the scenes. So without further ado, guys, before I completely wrap this movie review up, guys, it's my time in my review to give you trivia. So, without further ado, guys, it's trivia time. After the original idea for Space Jam 2 was cancelled, there was an idea for a spy film titled Space Jam, starring Chinese actor Jackie Chan. But he left the project and evolved into Looney Tunes Back in Action 2003. The lighting effects on the Looney Tunes characters were done by Industrial Light and Magic, which makes this the first time the company does the lighting effects on 2D animated characters in a live action animated film since Who Framed Roger Rabbit back in 1988, 33 years earlier. Justin Lin left the movie to direct both Fast and Furious 9 2021 and Fast and Furious 10. LeBron sustained an injury through production as the filmmakers shot 14 hours a day. This is the first Looney Tunes full-length theatrical film to not have June Foray voicing Granny following her death 4 years prior. In May 2014, LeBron was quoted as saying, "I've always loved Space Jam. It was one of my favorite movies growing up. If I have the opportunity, it would be great." Further rumors are that James and Kevin Durant may also star in New Monsters, but these were eventually denied as LeBron commented the monsters wouldn't return, thus concluding the film is a standalone sequel rather than a direct sequel. In the trailer for the film, the following characters can be seen: Pennywise from It, King Kong, Mystery Inc. from Scooby-Doo, The Iron Giant, The Flintstones, Yogi Bear, The Jetsons, to name a few. Zenada, who is the voice of Lana Bunny in the film, was born in 1996, the year Lana Bunny made her debut in Space Jam 1996. Kath Soucie had been set to reprise her role as Lola Bunny and all her dialogue recorded, but to unknown reasons, she was replaced by Zendara during post-production. Production began in June 2019 during the NBA off-season. The first full-length Looney Tunes theatrical film since Looney Tunes Back in Action 2003, released 18 years prior. Warner Bros. First film of traditional animation in the 2020s. NBA player Klay Thompson injured his ACL prior to filming. On June 27, 2019, TMZ leaked footage of Klay meeting up with the LeBron on set on crutches, meaning that Klay was still available to do the film. Malogi Bakstaji stars Gianna Acambio was offered to star in the film, but he declined. So there you have it, guys. Space Jam: A New Legacy trivia for you guys. What did you think of it? Did you enjoy the trivia, or was that a waste of time? I'm just kidding. Just a bit of icing on the cake, just a bit of trivia for you guys, just a bit of fun. Guys, you guys are amazing. I appreciate your time so much. Thank you so much for watching my movie review for Space Jam: A New Legacy. And don't forget, if you haven't, go ahead, like I said at the beginning of this movie review, guys, go ahead and subscribe. Click that bell for notifications. Don't forget to leave a thumbs up on this movie review. That way I know that you're appreciating my content. And that way I love to give you, it just drives my passion to give you guys more reviews. I appreciate you being here. You guys are absolutely amazing. Thank you again for being here. I appreciate it. Guys, don't forget who's bringing this movie review for Space Jam: A New Legacy. Guys, this is Superman Steve, appreciating you guys always and loving your time. Bye!